And you can also become aware of, if I say to you, just let things be, leave things as they are, learn to observe for a little bit. Learn to observe. This is an excellent, great step in awakening to the true. Learn to observe without interfering for a while. Just observe, first of all, what is playing around you. Just be aware of them, but don't try to manipulate. We know that it doesn't work. Just be aware first, pay attention, and be also aware when reactions arise from you to want to control something, so you're observing that also. But don't log in to that pull. Don't be sucked into anything. Simply observe with detachment or with neutrality. It's a good point?
Yes.
Yes. So by doing that, at first you'll see that maybe there seem so many things happening. So much. Sometime when it gets too much, it actually becomes easier to pay attention to yourself. If the traffic becomes too much, you can't keep up when the mind wants to count, and I say, no, don't count. Simply be aware that all this is coming and going. Everything you see, everything you experience is coming and going. Be very clear about that. Everything is coming and going. Now, you don't have to keep on watching that forever. Watch enough to recognize that what you're seeing, what you're observing, is not stationary, it's not stable. Whether it's on this side of the eyes, in terms of the movements in life, or on behind the eyes in the realm of thought and feeling, all are observable. Just observe, okay? Then at a certain point, if you observe with detachment, you're observing energy, some energy will come back to the place of the observer. And you'll start to become aware of the environment of the observer. You understand this? Yes. That is very important, because right there and then you will feel the presence of grace in the form of peace and some spaciousness, a lightness. A sense of fear or agitation will start to drift away. And you become increasingly clear that there's only a sense of presence right in the place of I. Where I is, I and presence become one. This is the most significant early steps you can take. Then you become aware that everything is occurring within and to that sense of presence. So the I, naturally the feeling I is there, even before knowledge. In fact, the I is the first knowing, the first knowing. It is the unlearned and unconditioned way in which you know your existence. It is the first knowing. The arising of I is the first knowledge. It is there before the sense of you, because you is relative to I. It is I that sees the sense of you. Actually, there is no you, there's only I. Because when you say I can see you, the knowledge in that form is also knowing itself as I. If you understand this simple thing, it will also begin to reveal more of its mystery, which will deeply please you. And it will give you a lot of encouragement, and you'll become naturally more and more attracted to that state of peace. Even as we are speaking now and you're listening, it is already spreading inside you. A natural feeling of being. What happened? You say, after the practice of this, the outcome of the practice is that you feel a little relief. Maybe it doesn't last for very long, but relief is experienced. And normally at this point, many people take that as the prize and say, now thank you, I've got my relief and so on. But I will press you a little further to say, don't get excited. Relief also is observed. Then when you pay attention that relief also is something observable, okay, and you don't just combine yourself with relief, the space in which relief is experienced becomes very, very, very alive for you. You cannot just call it relief, you see, and continue like that. What else comes? Maybe relief comes and then relief goes. Relief going is also observed. That which observes relief coming and relief going, that does not come and go. Pay attention to that. It does not have any shape or form. It is not a concept. Pay attention to that. Just paying attention is yielding, it's giving back a tremendous awareness of yourself. That is the real fruit of spiritual pursuit. Otherwise, mind arises is judging. I felt relief, but it's only for 10 minutes, and then more things come, and then after that, this thing. So the mind will come, and it's going to ramble on, and because you abandon prematurely your observing, the mind take over and say, yeah, well, you know, it's not so successful because all this is happening again, and the same mind is doing it. First of all, if you are hungry, you go fishing, and you are fishing out there, and after you catch a fish, do you have to stay all day? No, you catch your fish, it's okay for now. Eat your fish. So what I mean by this is that is to really, if you follow, you can still follow with me? Yeah, so when you are observing like that, you see, what's happening is that you're protecting, in some way, your field of being. So it is not intruded upon by the mind flow.
Right.
You're becoming much more self-aware.
Right.
Not object-aware, but self-aware. And this self-awareness is what you are longing for.
Right.
You see? So once you feel this, if there's more, you will enjoy also observing. You will enjoy this play of observing. It's not a task, it becomes a joy. Because each time you look, but you don't identify with what you see, in the beginning it might feel difficult, because the reflex of habit is to keep going back to the old identity as a reference point. But as you observe with detachment, you'll become aware of just the spaciousness in the place where you are. That is. And so you'll become naturally attracted to that state, and you'll want to be there more. It's a natural attraction, not a fatal attraction. So when that sense, that spaciousness, that joy is felt inside, you see, what it's actually doing is not building up the person, it's weakening the personal sense, which is the cause of much mischief. There is a sense of goodness, of lightness. As you keep on just observing that, don't try to make it anything, just observing, then it will convert the I that has become the person who wants to control into the presence which observes and radiates peace. You can be aware of mind, but you're not sucked into the mind flow. You're able to observe it, but with detachment. When you observe anything with detachment, you keep the power of your presence. When you observe something with interest or desire, you hemorrhage energy, and the energy goes and it's just dissipated and it's lost quickly. This I feeling that arises, don't identify with that, don't put yourself in this position, because it is not a good assessor. It is not a good, it is also very emotionally unstable. So it will feel, yeah, I'm down, oh, and next minute, oh no. So don't give the measuring to that one. Let that one itself be measured, meaning that you are aware of that state, but don't identify. In fact, as far and as long as possible, Don't identify with anything or as anything. There's a spaciousness which is present with you. Don't go into shape. When you go into shape, you come into time, situation, change, all these things come. Because we are obsessed about control. Because of the fear that life is always on the verge of some chaos and you have to control, otherwise everything will fall apart. That's an illusion and a delusion which is perpetuating a state of sadness in you. So what happens is when these states come, as you are relaxing, you see, is that the next charge of stress is coming, like you're going to go crazy. And what happens is that we quickly believe these thoughts, and you believe them into existence, and they become your experience. You're not going mad, as in fact you are already mad. You are becoming sane. But we don't know that yet because we have associated being in control with being on top of the water. So this you must also relax and trust, because every step when you are searching for truth, even if it feels like it's bitter, it's going to turn to be to your advantage. The mind energy is highly overrated. We have given too much respect to it. You believe in it, even though it lies so often. We still feel that is the only real. That's your private Google. You use your mind like that. But as you become more aware of your natural and intuitive power, there will be a switch from relying upon the mind, which is very, very turbulent state and very unsteady state, to rest more in the presence of being, you see? So that's a good indicator. You'll start to feel less stressed, more spacious, more open, you see? And they come quickly. It's not that you have to wait for 6 months, 8 months, no, quickly. This is a tree that bears fruit immediately. Once planted, this tree bears fruit immediately. What is the fruit of this tree? Peace, joy, openness, spaciousness, contentment, the blossoming of universal love. This is your peace. Plenty of indicators, plenty of support also. You simply need to be aware of them. Many times things come to you and the mind mislabels them as inauspicious, when in fact, if you watch from your stillness, you'll see that something that looked like it came in rough packaging had a diamond in it. But the mind is saying, who will send something like that in the bin? So these things, you'll develop much more sensitivity, much better quality of discernment, but they're coming automatically. I'm not giving you a job. Just saying, all you need to do is to keep paying attention to the traffic of thoughts, sensations at first, and don't own them. Just, if you don't own them, meaning that you stay detached from them, you'll become naturally self-aware. Not phenomenon aware only, but self-aware is not an object awareness, it's a sort of vibration field, and you'll enjoy and you become naturally attracted to that. The more you're attracted to this, the more you will develop in it. Now, just leave everything.
Yes.
Everything. Pull the chain. Everything. Just don't touch anything at all. But really do it. And anyone can join in this. It's so simple. Leave everything first. Even your identity, your role as a lawyer, as a father, as whatever, just for a moment, just don't hold those and just leave them aside for a moment so that you can experience an emptiness. Do this now. Just drop everything. Yeah? This is going to be the easiest of technique. It's a non-technique technique. Drop everything. Just don't hold on, don't carry, don't put anything in any pocket or nothing. Leave everything. Keep doing. Don't hold on. Whatever you can think of, just leave it for the moment. And when we are finished, like this, in a few moments, you can pick them back up again. But just like this, you do it. Just do it now.
Yes.
Just empty, empty, empty. You're not a container of information now. Beyond memory, don't refer to memory or time. Just like that, empty, empty, empty. And everyone can do this. This is one of the great free gifts of life. Empty, 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 empty. And don't pick anything up now. So empty, empty, empty. Empty even of somebody being empty. Just empty. Just do. Don't imagine emptiness. Just let go. Everyone can do. Some people find even this difficult because they feel it's a technique. So it's not a technique. Just you drop it. And even the idea, okay, now what? Don't touch that. No next. No next. Simply be. Pay attention. No event. Empty, empty, empty. All I ask you is only to be aware. Empty awareness. Empty and aware. No waiting. No concepts. Maybe mind wants to come in to say something, but not right now. Later. Empty. Stay empty. Empty, empty. Now. Like this. Just pay attention first that it is possible. First thing, that it is possible to drop everything. Okay? Don't pick anything up. And even the sense that, okay, I have done it. Don't touch even this. You have done nothing at all. You just allowed the usual habit to not be engaged with. That's it. So first of all, be aware of what is here. If everything can be taken out, you will come now to see everything I have left out. What is it that remains by itself, which was not put there and cannot be taken out? Even the sense of yourself as a person, don't use that as a reference. So even if the person, the self-image, the self-portrait of yourself can be disregarded for a moment, what is here now? Don't answer yet. I'm just use my question, pay attention. What remains, you see? That which remains here now. Is it personal? Does it have to make any decision? Stay right here. In this, is there any effort here? Yes. Is it a happening? Is it an happening? Pay attention now. Everyone who chooses to look in this way, is it a happening? Please answer. Can it by itself? Because did you create it? Can it? Is there a boundary beyond which it is not? Can it become sick? Depressed?
No.
Confused? You are becoming aware, and you are aware of it now, but where has it been all this time? What gives you the authority to say it's always been here? Then the next question you have half taken. You did not create it. Was it born or created? Can it come to an end?
No.
Thank you. Just like this is good. Is it a belief system? Is it bound by time? Okay, let's take one more question, and that would be, this question is, what must you do to reach it? No effort? How far away from you is it? So if you say, and you agree, it is not personal, it was not created, it's not merely a mood or something, it's not a philosophy or some kind of belief system. Is it a religion?
No.
No. It cannot become sick or depressed or confused. It was not born. It cannot die. It is not time. It cannot fade. Then I ask you, you're discovering it now, but where has it been until now? You say it's always been here. It's timeless. I ask this question to you. What can you do to get to it? How much distance? You say, no distance. And so this is why I say that if all these things are true, you did not have to go away to do any research about this. Out of your own being you could confirm with such confidence. Then you must be speaking, perceiving, knowing yourself. This is the self. Is it an object? Does it have shape? Now comes this I feeling. The I feeling that comes and say, yes, but how can I use it? Will it help me to find a better job? And then who is this me? Where it come from? Because this is what I say when the mind will come. And it is important that the mind come because your understanding must be tested. The mind will come in the most powerful way as I. It will arise as I itself. If it says, how can I do this? How can I keep staying here? I said, how are you staying here at the moment? Are you staying here? So until this question comes, and if this question is accepted, then comes a doubt, then comes some struggle. Just like that. Simply what to do? Keep marinating your attention in this natural self-discovery. Don't let it turn into any story. You don't need any adventures. Simply marinate your attention in it. And gradually, the noise of mind and the duality and all of these things, they are completely thinning away. This is your sadhana, if you want to say, meaning your practice. Because mind will keep coming and saying, oh, it was much better yesterday. The self cannot be better one day and less one day. So it's just a question of whether it can trick you into purchasing duality again in this way. And this you must watch. Vigilant watch. And as you keep looking, sometime man will say, but how long I've got to keep looking? It's just so, we're not getting anywhere. And to see if something comes from you, which is judgment, identification, it will try to appeal to these energies or powers in you. If it catches them, it will pull you into some shape. You remain shapeless. Simple thing. If you can do this, because this is what the sages have done, if you want to say do, they've paid attention, they've understood the mechanism of the psychological identity. and they have transcended its influence, just like you. But if you go with habit and, yeah, I don't know, it was very nice when I was in Rishikesh, but now I don't know, and anyway, I can't call Mooji, he's too far away, and and you're back into role as Mr. Stupid. Because that's what it is. The mind in the form of ego is stupidness, believing in itself. So you have been shown now to what extent you will accept this simple guidance, simple and effective, immediate effectiveness of this guidance. As soon as you come to this seeing, I say to people, a storm is coming. A storm is coming. What it means? That the mind is going to come. And the only way it can blow you is by getting you to re-identify personally. Because right now, if you're followed, you are not a person. Yeah. You are the pure consciousness. Mind can only intimidate you or to somehow overwhelm you if it gets you to become personal. And that has been easy in the past. Let's see how easy it is now. And he will keep coming. And the more you don't say, oh, why does the mind keep coming and why does it keep coming? Because that itself is mind. You already picked it up. You just observe what it, observe and stay in that neutrality. That is the most excellent advice I can give you right now. Honor it, that's all. Follow it, and you will yourself be the proof of its success.